this is really weird, right? It's always Suned who's always doing this, but right now, yeah, he's disappeared. But anyways, guys, yeah, welcome to the stream. Liam, it's really nice to have you with the Bayern View channel, and we're going to do the Bayern Munich preview against Real Madrid. So, Liam, are you really excited about the game? I mean, Suned's going to come on and do the proper intro. I'm not really used to doing these things, so, forgive me, guys.
No, bless. Not really, to be honest with you. Not really. It's going to be a wild game.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like Bayern had it all in their hands in the last one, and it just, they just didn't do good enough to keep it, if that makes any sense. And we obviously, on the weekend, you guys become champions.
Yeah,
and
we did become champions.
we lost, so we got smashed. They were, that we didn't. So,
but I mean, it's all right. Like, it wasn't a huge surprise or anything because Real Madrid were definitely. We were like, for me personally, I wasn't really expecting us to be champions because I thought maybe Barcelona Girona is gonna be a bit more, a bit more cagey. Maybe Barcelona wanted to give more of a fight to Girona, but yeah, it didn't happen. But anyways, guys, I mean, the birthday boy is here. He went off to eat some cake. Now he's back. So
I just wanted to tell them just simmer it a bit. But yeah, let's go for it.
Now that you're done eating the cake, man, happy birthday.
Appreciate it, bro. Thank you so much. There was no cake. Too old for cake. But yeah.
Anyways, man, so you should do the intro because I didn't really do it. We were just having a chat, so.
Oh, are we live?
Yeah, we're live, man. We were already live when you
okay.
Yeah.
Right, my bad. But yeah, hola Madridistas, welcome back to another episode of Let's Be Real podcast. You guys know the drill. If you're new here, don't forget to smash the likes and subscribe to the channel. We're on the road to 2K. Big up Liam, as always. The Bayern view back again. We last met him in the post match, which was an entertaining one, to be fair. And Bayern in general has been entertaining, to say the least, over the course of the weekend, and everything that's been happening in and around the club that has kind of added a much lacking spice to proceedings. Let's be honest, the glitterati has been kind of off the menu, especially for Bayern, because if you go back 6-7 years, it was Robin Ribery, Lewandowski, Müller in their prime. It was a star-studded outfit, but nowadays it's not so much, and we have to kind of focus on what's happening outside. But I'll guarantee you, what's going to happen inside the pitch tomorrow is going to define both the club's season. We just won La Liga. We didn't even do a special for it because it has been done for so long. It just was a foregone conclusion at this point because people were asking, where is the passion? Where is the celebration? Hopefully we'll celebrate it properly. What was that? Yeah, from Angry Randman, right? Yeah, big up Angry Randman. But yeah, 100%, man. Like the passion, the joys, it's all there. But it happening right couple of days before we face Bayern was bound to take off some attention away from what was to be honest a splendid season. All in all, the odds that we had to overcome, injuries, you name it, a succession plan, being laid out post Karim Benzema. It had it all, but we'll delve into it at a much better, space, much better time with a much better head. Now it's not the time, but would like to congratulate Carlo, like always. Before we get into it, welcome Liam back again. Talk to me, man. How are you? First of all, and then how is Bayern?
Yeah, man. I'm doing all right. Struggling a bit with mental health and so on. But everybody around the world has their days, good and bad. Of course, I'm in the proceedings right now with the bad days, but we'll get through it. 100% we'll get through it. Bayern, obviously we had that good result, if you want to say a good result against Real Madrid. Obviously we didn't get smashed by me and Ahmad, or the talks, whatever you want to say. Thought we were going to get smashed. Bayern actually should have won the game if we didn't make mistakes. Obviously Real Madrid, like I said in the show, we had to be on a 10 out of 10, and you guys only had to be out of 4 and you would win. And Vinicius just took both of those chances, snapped them up, seen the mistakes, and yeah, you got the result. On the weekend, obviously you guys become champions, and we lost to Stuttgart. To be honest with you, they were just up for it. We weren't up for it. He dropped a lot of players. Musiala wasn't playing. I was surprised Sane even did play, to be honest with you. But a lot of our players did get dropped. Yeah, they wanted it and we didn't. It was as simple as that. Their fans were up for it. I would say our fans in the stadium were up for it, but you could just see that the players were elsewhere in their mind, if you want to say. But yeah, it's simple as that, to be quite honest.
But to kind of counter your point, Liam, Kim and Dyer started, right? So that's going to be the centre back pairing tomorrow as well.
I don't know. There's some things on social media saying that it might be De Ligt coming back. So
is he? Okay.
Yeah, I'm not too sure on who it will be. I don't. The lads obviously travelled today. Obviously, all the photos of them on the plane and together and so on were put out a couple of hours ago. So I don't think Tuchel would do his press conference until tonight. I don't know what time tonight, but yeah, I don't know off the top of my head on where they're thinking, but I think it probably will be Dyer and De Ligt, I think.
Fair play. Because I was watching the game and the way you guys defended was, to say the least, pedestrian. But we'll get into it. We'll delve into it a bit more. But Mo, man, welcome back again. I think we are kind of the show-in for Champions League nights, right? Me and you. And we sat through the Bayern preview. We sat through the Bayern post-match. A week on, has anything changed, in your opinion?
I did sit through the Bayern preview on Liam's channel, but I don't think I did the preview with you guys when you were here.
No, but that's a preview as well. We did it for over an hour.
Yeah, but maybe some people are confused, like, hey, this guy wasn't there, and why are you giving him credit? So
it was Farouk. Farouk was supposed to make it, but he couldn't make it.
Yeah. So, anyways, man, to the question that you raised, a very valid question, a very important question. I think nothing on Real Madrid's end has changed. The only difference is, like, we got the trophy that we were hoping to get. So now that it is in the bag, I mean, maybe some players can totally disconnect from La Liga, but the thing is, like, we were already disconnected from La Liga because Ancelotti for the last 2 games hasn't been playing the main guys. I mean, they made substitute appearances like over the last weekend, and I think against Sociedad as well. But like for the majority of the party, it was just the B team. Arda Güler got a lot of minutes, so that was a good thing. So for me, nothing has changed on Real Madrid's end. It's still going to be the same team that was like probably the same team that was facing Bayern in the first leg. Maybe Carvajal comes in for Lucas Vazquez. Apart from that, you go with the same mindset. This is Bayern. This is a big club. And this is a Bayern that has not won any trophies, so it's an even more dangerous version of it, because this is their only chance. So they're gonna give their 100%, 200%, whatever. Like I said in the preview on Liam's channel, right? Maybe the players don't like the manager, but it's not gonna affect what happens in the Champions League, because this is not the Bundesliga. This is the Champions League. This is the competition that every one player wants to do well. So irrespective of their feelings, they're gonna give their 100%, and they're gonna give the game to us. And I mean, Leroy Sané does have a good track record at the Bernabeu. I still remember his debut for Schalke at the Bernabeu. I mean, not debut for Schalke, but debut for Schalke at the Bernabeu, and that game was something else. I don't know if a lot of people remember it. Back in 14-15, he came to the Bernabeu, and I think
when Huntelaar scored the goal.
No, that was the year before, I think.
Oh, okay.
It was the year after. So it's like
I don't remember it.
Yes, so Leroy Sané like completely traumatized our defense with Casillas in goal. So that was one game where you really stood up and thought maybe this guy's gonna go somewhere, and there was like maybe this guy in the future can come to Madrid. His career so far has been pretty good. I mean, he went to City against Pep, Maybe he had a falling out there, but then he goes to Bayern. Despite that ACL injury, I think he's recovered well. He's playing decently. So, and he scored a brilliant goal against us. I mean, we can dissect the goal and try and apportion blame as to who was at blame. I've seen in Spanish media, they were all talking about how Rodrigo didn't cover him well despite Mendy's instructions. Some people are trying to put the blame on Mendy. When we first saw the goal, I kind of felt like Mendy didn't defend well, but on rewatches you can see him instructing Rodrigo to cover Sané, but that coverage never comes, and Sané really took advantage of the space and put that that thunderbolt of a shot in the goal where I felt no keeper in the world would have had a chance. So for me, Real Madrid, you just have to do things better than you did in the first half and give respect to the likes of Bayern, because as I said, this is their only chance of a trophy, and this is Thomas Tuchel's chance for saying goodbye to Bayern in a positive note. So Bayern are going to come with everything. Real Madrid definitely have to go with everything. Liam said that we only have to be at 4. I mean, in this, maybe it was valid for the last game, but this game, we have to be at 10. We have to be at 22. Fend off this Bayern.
We showed too much respect to Bayern. Way too much respect in the first half, especially, people just backing off, walking, ball watching. The amount of chances we shipped to Bayern, especially in the first 20 to 30 minutes, was alarming. Despite us scoring, it was against the run of play, and even after that, Bayern had their fair share of chances, and once they fixed up in the second half, we just saw how devastating they can be, and we have to count our lucky stars that Bayern weren't as clinical as they could be. Or they weren't at their optimal best when they were, faced with opportunities
Bayern didn't really create
to
many
kill us.
chances, right? They didn't really create many clear-cut chances. What they had was possession, and that was basically, it was with the ball with Konrad Laimer, and it wasn't really going anywhere.
No, I don't get this, bro. The first chance at the 38th second, wasn't it clear enough for me?
Okay. First of all, the thing is let's look at the whole game, right? Let's look at the whole game and see how many clear-cut chances did Bayern create, especially in the first half, okay? You want to focus on the first half, let's look at the first half. You're talking about the Sané chance, right? Where he shoots across. I mean, that was a very tight chance. Should he have scored? Probably. Could he have done better? Probably. But, I mean, it's a difficult chance. It wasn't just a tap-in or they were...
At this level, I wouldn't really...
I mean, how many times does a goal like that, a shot from that end get scored?
It can still be scored.
There's a difference
that's my worry.
There's a difference where it can be scored and how likely it is to be scored. Bayern, for all the credit we give them, I mean, I give them credit for the first 16 minutes. They were the dominant team. But after once we scored the goal, what happened? Bayern had a lot of ball, but they didn't create many chances. They had this possession that they were, playing around with the ball. Konrad Laimer was so dominant. Everybody was saying that. But what was the end result?
What about the second half? What about the second half more then?
The second half, there was this period where Bayern dominate, right? There was this period where they get 2 goals. The first goal was brilliant, like already talked about it. Could we have done better? Yes, we should have done better. Mendy and Rodrigo, there should have been better coordination. It wasn't there. And Sané scored a wonder goal. I mean, you have to give credit there. And the second goal, again, you have to give credit to Thomas Tuchel because they switched their tactics and they took advantage of it. But once that goal goes in, Real Madrid came back into the game. It wasn't after that Bayern were destroying us or creating a lot of chances.
No, we didn't get destroyed. No, I didn't say that. It was just the fact that we were just
overall it was an even game, yeah. And I think
it wasn't an even game. But I didn't like the way we shipped chances. That's me. Yeah.
I mean, that's fair, but the thing is, there are 2 teams playing in this game, right? It's not just Bayern Munich, Real Madrid. Real Madrid isn't the main character of the world. There's going to be 2 teams, and both of them are going to try to play the game.
You're giving too much respect to the occasion.
The thing is, you have to give respect to the occasion. It's the Champions League semi-final.
Extremely reactive. I know our setup is going to be completely different in the first leg, but I'm just saying, if we are going to concede those kind of chances,
we'll be
punished.
Extremely different from the first leg. How many times have you watched Real Madrid play Bayern Munich? I've been watching
at least 4 times.
We've been watching Real Madrid Bayern Munich since 2014, right? Ancelotti.
2011.
Okay, fine. Let's put 11 and 12 differently because at that time we had a different set of tactics, right? Different set of.
We need to get the Bayern perspective as well because Liam is itching to say stuff.
No. Let's just first of all talk about our tactics, right? We're talking about how Real Madrid going to be reactionary? Maybe they're going to be different. They're not going to be different. They're going to be the same. Because in the first leg in 13-14 at the Bernabeu, we saw what happened. Real Madrid eked out a 1-0 win. In the second half, in the second leg, I mean, we talk a lot about how Real Madrid destroyed Bayern Munich 4-0. But if you go back and watch the game again, Bayern were dominating with the ball. Real Madrid took a lot of chances on transition. And that's going to be the blueprint for Real Madrid to beat Bayern Munich. The same thing happened in 16-17. The same thing is
I
going
didn't
to happen
expect anything else.
So
I know that's
the
a script.
same thing is
That's
going to
a
happen tomorrow as well. It's going to be a game where there's going to be a lot of respect given to
We
the
are going to score
opposition.
first, and we are going to set up shop. Like, I just know that for a fact. I'm just saying.
It's
I'm just
not
saying.
about scoring first and defending like some like a relegation team. It's more about
It's not a relegation side.
having the having the wherewithal to know when to attack and when to defend. That is the difference.
I completely know that. Like, I've been watching Ancelotti for the last how many or so years. Like, he's a pragmatic coach. Like, he would approach this occasion every single time the same way if he had the chance to redo it as well. I just know that the setup in Munich was an away side trying to basically see out a result. We basically, when we were packed back, we reacted, we scored, we leveled the score, then we tried never to really kill Bayern. At home, like, I completely understand why Carlo would maybe protect a lead or protect an advantageous position, but I need our players to not concede so many chances. That's the only thing.
See, the thing is, like, there was a big weakness where in the game where you probably have a point is the fact that Real Madrid lost the ball too much. Okay.
Oh yeah, 100%.
That is an area of improvement, and Carlo Ancelotti came out in a press conference and said that we're going to improve them. So those things can be changed, but to say that let's not concede chances or let's not give too much respect to Bayern, I mean, that's not going to happen. That is definitely going to be there. We're going to give respect to Bayern. We are going to concede chances. It's not going to happen that Bayern aren't going to be able to play. I mean, this is Bayern Munich, right? This is not this is not Cadiz. With all due respect to Cadiz, right? This is Bayern Munich.
With all due respect, Bayern ain't the Bayern of old.
I mean, it's just okay, fine. Facts. You're saying Bayern ain't the Bayern of the old, but Bayern are scoring more points this season than they scored last season in the Bundesliga. The reason Bayern are struggling
my eyes tell me they are way off.
The reason why Bayern's issues are magnified is because Bayer Leverkusen are having a season for the ages, right? They haven't lost a game this season. So
I'm not underestimating Bayern.
I mean, as much as we want to say, Bayern are rubbish because they didn't win the league, Bayern aren't rubbish. They have had bad periods of form, and I completely agree. But the thing is, they were faced with a team in Bayer Leverkusen that was one for the history books. So I mean, it is natural that the team is going to lose interest in the Bundesliga. But this is the Champions League. This is the best. This is the biggest competition in Europe, right? So the Bayern players, no matter who, can you deny the quality of their players? Can you deny the quality of Jamal Musiala? Can you deny the quality of Harry Kane? Can you deny the quality of Leroy Sané? Can you deny the quality of Thomas Muller? You can't, man. They have brilliant players. So they're going to create chances. You can't really do anything about that.
Liam, your perspective on all this, man. We went on for 15 or so minutes. But what do you reckon from your end of listening to all this unfold?
Yeah. No, I can see the passion from the pair of you, and I get it. I understand. I'm kind of with both of you in the sense that we're not the same team of old, but at the same time, there was a point in the fact that we do still have some good players that can make chances and so on and so forth. I think it's a difficult one. I think Thomas Tuchel is going to want to prove the fans wrong, want to prove the media wrong and everything. Obviously, it seems like every press conference he gets asked about, what do you think of this manager being your successor? What do you think of this? What do you think of that? And every time he's like, I don't want to answer it. Which, to be honest, no matter if I like Thomas Tuchel or not, I wouldn't want to answer it either.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you're not going to want to talk about someone that might be more successful than you in the league and so on. But yeah, we've got players. Harry Kane is firing on all cylinders. I think he's the best out and out number 9 in the world. Even with not necessarily the best game against Real Madrid, he still got a goal. Obviously, it was a penalty. We know that, but it's going to be a difficult game.
I saw a couple of passes he played for Choupo-Moting. He should have put that away 1-on-1.
Yeah. No, 100%. And that's the problem. I think that's the problem with Bayern this season. The chances that we've had, we haven't put away, and that obviously in the end costs us points and so on and so forth. But for me, the only thing I would say is, from what's being put out on social media, which you can never obviously go with because this is other people's predicted lineups and so on, I really hope Thomas Tuchel doesn't go with the whole Musiala on the right-hand side, Leroy Sané on the left, and then switch it again, because I just don't think that worked. Yes, I know Leroy Sané got the goal, and it was a fantastic goal, and maybe the keeper should do better.
But he's going to keep it more traditional for the second leg, 100%.
Yeah, and even with the whole thing of Serge Gnabry scoring, obviously he said that before the first leg. He said that the leg's not over yet. So he was obviously talking about thingy. So it's an interesting one. I don't really know what's going to happen. And the only thing I would say is Real Madrid. It's going to be, in my brain and in my way I'm thinking as a Bayern fan, not a Real Madrid fan, is it going to be Real Madrid going to be relaxed to the point where we've won the league and then Bayern can do something on that? Or is it going to be them saying, all right, we've won the league, that's done now. Now let's go and smash Bayern and get to the final? Because no matter, even with the game tonight, obviously we're not necessarily talking about the game tonight, but even with the game tonight, it is 90 minutes to 120 minutes with penalties if it gets to that point for someone to get to the final. It's not like we're in the round of 16 or we're in the group stages. Hopefully we can win it. It's we're there basically. If Bayern can beat Real Madrid tomorrow, we're in the final. I know I sound like it's simple. It's not simple, obviously. But yeah, I think Bayern have got a chance. But going against Real Madrid in the Bernabeu with all of the Real Madrid fans, all of the it's going to be a hard game. But I think Thomas Tuchel wants to do it. Wants to prove the media wrong, wants to prove all the fans wrong, and we'll have to wait and see, man.
Tuchel hasn't lost a semi-final in 11 games, 11 tries. That's a mad stat, and we haven't lost a tie, not the scoreline, but on the night, but the tie in general at the Bernabeu for a long time as well. So either of those two are going to be broken tomorrow. I'm with you, Liam, in the sense that I don't really understand in what mindset, I worry. It's not that I don't understand. I know for a fact that this squad of players, which has ample experience, dealing with a situation like this, especially, winning a title and then heading into a semi-final, they have been there, done that. So I'm not exactly worried about will they slack off, but I've seen my team over the years basically kind of drop their levels to match opposition at times. It doesn't happen week in, week out. It tends to happen more often than you would like it to happen. That's my only slight gripe going into tomorrow. I don't know what Mo thinks about this. I'm pretty sure people would be pumped up to find a seat off through to Wembley.
I mean, I kind of saw a comment that kind of made me smile, where Ahmed says that the smartest donkey of all time is better than smartest donkey of all time is equal to Thomas Tuchel. But regardless, I, like you guys said, it's a valid question to worry about the fact that is the team going to be in the right mindset, especially given, like Liam said, we won La Liga over the weekend. But the thing is, we won the La Liga. We won La Liga. The celebration is gonna be taking place over the weekend, but I don't think anybody's going to be thinking about it, because we have been in control of La Liga for a long time now. Even before the Sociedad game, everybody was like, the league is won. Now what? So this is the mindset, remember, right? You can win the competition 14 times. I mean, 15 times every June, hopefully, but you can win a competition 14 times. But the question is always going to be, what are you going to do the next time? So I remember the players know that this is the pressure that you face. The veterans in the club, the likes of Carvajal, Cruz, Modric, Nacho, all of these guys, they've been through this. They know what it's like. Guys like Nacho and Carvajal have been living through it since they were young kids, maybe 10 years old. They know what the demands of Real Madrid are. So they aren't going to approach the game tomorrow thinking, oh man, we've won this 14 competition 14 times, or we've won the league 36 times. What an achievement. they're gonna be like, okay, fine. If we want to get the press off our back, if we want to continue to have the support of the fans, we have to win the game tomorrow. So that is the only thing that's going to be in the minds of Real Madrid players. And I mean, yeah, is it possible that the performance isn't up to standard? I mean, they can be, because we've played a long season, we've played many games, and like I said, Bayern aren't like slouches. So it can go both ways, but I don't really think that Real Madrid players are going to come into the game with a mindset that, where they are giving anything less than 100%.
I completely echo that. But me, I get super nervous for the Champions League just because of how unpredictable and hairy it can get. Even when the occasion really doesn't have it on the menu. Big up the chat. Let me get to a few of them. You guys know the drill. Big up our partners, Manscaped. Go check them out. LBR 20 to get 20% off and free shipping with manscaped.com. Pioneers in men's grooming, ranging from trimmers, beard waxes, loungewear. You want it, and probably Manscaped has it on their catalog. It's a given with Manscaped, especially over the years what they have built up. But yeah, bigger Manscaped every single time. Slot was mentioning, my main thing is this: Tommy Tuchel in Europe, then domestic. Tuchel, what? He goes into wizard mode. He may have some tricks up his sleeve. We'll see. In the end, should be a great match. Oh, he's saying, Tuchel in Europe is a different breed. I guess so. Yeah, he has some level of European pedigree, 100%. Madrid TV was mentioning big game ahead. Ala Madrid. More spitting facts. This guy knows. Ball Sunaid, good job too. Good job, Liam too. Okay, basically. Right. Showering praise all around. Much love, Slot. Zia talks, big up Zia. He was mentioning, what's good, guys? Bayern are rubbish this season. I'm sorry. At least compete with Leverkusen. Yeah, I get that. We didn't compete. That's when you know how bad we have performed, despite having a good enough squad. 100%. Slot says hi from Nigeria. Yeah, I'm not going to read the smartest donkey. I think we have already addressed this. And imagine being a Madrid fan with all the heritage having no maximum amount of chest. I low-key respect it, but don't worry, you are all good tomorrow. It's not about chest exactly, because I'll tell you the backstory why I became such a pragmatic guy, especially when talking about my club. I had a few friends, Manchester United mates, who used to talk so much. Good Lord, they used to talk. And they used to talk for days. And how kind of life hit them, like, I don't want that to happen to me. God forbid. Madrid is never going there, but I see that and think to myself, probably a bit more level-headed approach to occasions like this is gonna, do well for me in the long run. And I'm a bit superstitious when it comes to football as well. So even if I'm feeling confident, like, I don't really say it out loud often. It's just me. But you have more here. That's why he's here. He's the equalizer. When I go into basically defense mode, he's the guy who sets up the 4-3-3 with the overlapping wingers. But Liam, talk to me. Matthias Tell, right? Sane and Nabri has been doing the job, but so has Matthias Tell. Let me bring up his stats. What was it? 19 goal contributions, 9 goals, 5 assists in 142 minutes. It should be higher, considering he played against Stuttgart. 1.11 goal or assists per 90. How high is his ceiling, and why isn't he being given much more of a shoe-in?
Yeah, I think he's a superstar. I really do. He's got the mentality to be at a big club, like Bayern, like a Real Madrid. But I think Thomas Tuchel has his favourites. He has the likely, you know that he's going to play Sane. As long as Sane's got everything there, he's gonna obviously play him. Serge Gnabry and Kingsley Coman have been the two that have been obviously rotating in that position. But from our injuries and from it being such a big game, a monumental game in Real Madrid, he has dropped players. So Matías Tell has got the game time that he deserves. For me, I would start him. I really, really would. I know that it's a big call starting, such a player at the Bernabeu, but I generally think he can shine. I really do. Very fast, very strong. He is actually a striker, but I think he can play all across the three. He can play left wing, he can play right wing, and up top. Obviously, he's not going to play up top because we've got Harry Kane, obviously. But yeah, he's amazing, absolutely amazing. I would like the youth, if you want to call them that, because they are still young. Pavlovic. I want Pavlovic to get minutes. I don't know if he'll start, but to get minutes. The same with Matías Tell. I believe there's still 5 substitutions with you having to do it in 3 slots. So there's no excuse. Obviously, if it gets to extra time and that, you need to watch what you're doing. But I think just play for the 90 minutes and see what you can do. That's generally what I would do. But yeah, he's a superstar without doubt.
Is there any scenario he starts tomorrow, unless Sane and Gnabry are kind of,
I really don't know what Tuchel's going to do, if I'm being perfectly honest. Because obviously he's got, we started with Thomas Muller. I don't know if Thomas Muller's going to start in Spain. If he doesn't start Thomas Muller, we know that Jamal Musiala will go through the middle. He has put Leroy Sane through the middle before. I don't think he'll do it again. It's an interesting one. He definitely has a chance to start, but it will be a lower percentage of Serge Gnabry, Sane, so on.
100%. I also don't see Muller, really starting. I think Musiala is going to be the guy, playing through the middle. And Sane, he was on the bench, but he should be fit, right? Like, he is fit.
Yeah. I believe he is fit. Yeah, he did play 10, maybe 15 minutes in the last game. I don't know why, to be honest with you. I wouldn't have played him, but he should be fit and should be there, raring to go, obviously.
So it's pretty evident. Kane, Sane, Gnabry, and Musiala, basically in the front 4. But more on our side of things, the Tchouaméni conundrum. It was always a case of where he would play, right? Like, he's going to definitely start tomorrow. But personally, what would you prefer, right? Him starting at centre back and Camavinga, and we basically expanding Camavinga from the get go, or we start Nacho, at centre back and Tchouaméni in the middle to bring Camavinga on to kind of throw in some energy towards the finish line.
You asked what I would prefer, right?
Yeah,
I would prefer Militao to be fit enough to play. Well, I mean, that's not happening. So
he doesn't look nowhere near fit, but yeah.
That's not happening. The thing is, I think it all depends on how you want to approach the game. For me, is it like, do you want to be more pragmatic in the first half and be more aggressive in the second half, or is it about being aggressive from the get-go? So that's the difference. If you start Nacho, I think that sends a message that you want to be more pragmatic. If you start Tchouaméni at centre back, that means you're gonna be more aggressive. For me personally, who doesn't want to be aggressive? So I would the fan in me would say let's go with Tchouaméni and start attacking Bayern from the get go. But I think this game, a game of this magnitude, requires that Real Madrid be more cautious in the first half, and then in the second half we'll see how the situation of the game is and deal with it accordingly. So I would probably start with with Nacho and Rudiger as centre back pairing, and then have Mendy and Carvajal on the wing back positions, and Tchouaméni as the CDM, and then as the game goes we can bring on Camavinga.
100%. And the way kind of we have navigated this season, I'm confident we can kind of, especially at home, negate Bayern's incisive, especially passes out on the flanks, because last time Harry Kane just had to pick his money shot and go for it. It cost us a lot of trouble, especially with Sané. and Nabri. I mean, Musiala. It really, was what was on the script, but the extent to which it bothered, our wing backs was a bit scary. Like, you discussed, Fallen Mendy, basically, being a little, hung out to dry by Rodrigo. Like, I would want, the team to exactly kind of, learn from what went wrong in Munich. And yeah, see those scenarios unfold before they get to that point, right? I want the team to basically, be super alert, because the team who scores first, let's be honest, I know it's a cliche, right? The team who scores first has a massive advantage, because if we score first, Bayern has to, basically come out and, give us a go. And it suits us better, maybe, in a way, because we can claw back deficits much easier than, keep out leads, I feel like, throughout the years. But I still feel, the team who scores first is going to be, super encouraged, with everything, with so much on the line. But Liam, Bayern's away record, right? They drew 2-2 to Arsenal, lost 1-0 away to Lazio with 0 shots on target. They've only won one of their last 6 away knockout games, including against teams like Salzburg, Villarreal, and Lazio. What do you reckon is gonna change tomorrow, especially when you deep a stat like that?
Yeah, I think obviously, stats are there for a reason. We can't always go off of those, but they are there for a reason, obviously. When we played Lazio, we just, again, did not turn up, and then Upamecano give away a penalty, they go and get the win. Otherwise, realistically, that should have been a 0-0 game. But again, if one of our defenders makes a mistake. It's a hard one to obviously predict. Obviously, that's the whole point of us doing this, you being Real Madrid fans, me being a Bayern fan and everything. But I think the only thing I can say that's different is that Thomas Tuchel is like the stat of him being very good in the semi-final and so on. I think that's the only thing we can really go off. I haven't seen his press conference yet. I'm pretty sure he'll be happy in that press conference. He'll be he's not going to be a timid manager, if that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I didn't understand why he was so, I don't think smug's the word, but why he was so happy in the first one. But he obviously had something up his sleeve, and obviously, I thought we were going to get smashed. We didn't. So yeah, it's an interesting one. But yeah, Bayern have failed in these, the quarters, the semis, in recent time, and it's going to be, if we can get over the line, it's just typical that it's, the other clubs that we have been knocked out before, all respect to them, but they haven't been the big clubs, other than Man City, obviously, so we have to wait and see if Bayern can get over the line.
Going off just history and how, Tommy Tuchel has earned a reputation for being, a coach that can really harm the big guns, on a given night. I just feel like this 4-2-3-1 formation that you guys have been predominantly relying on is going to be kind of improvised, to say the least, for tomorrow, because that's the only way I see Bayern laying a glove. If he comes with the 4-2-3-1, I think Carlo has it under control, and I hope that's from a rival perspective. But I genuinely feel like, even if you kind of look at it from a neutral perspective, Tuchel has to think out of the box, to do something at the Bernabeu. What do you reckon, Mo? Like, is he gonna really play into the occasion, and get in, tangled in playing the occasion rather than the game? Tuchel, because
No man, Thomas Tuchel, he has a lot of experience. He knows what to do in this place, and it's not his first away game at the Bernabeu. He's like, I think it was in 2021-22 where we played Chelsea. I think that was probably his first game, because I remember we did play him once before, but with Di Stefano, so not the same thing. But regardless, Thomas Tuchel has a lot of experience. You guys are talking about how he's not lost in the semifinals in 11 games, I think.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
what the start was. So that speaks to the wealth of experience he has. I don't really see him getting played down, getting bogged down by the occasion, or maybe getting too overhyped by the occasion. I think whatever he says in the press conference, it doesn't really mean anything, because it's just a press conference. It's just an act to take criticism away from his team. I think most managers do that, although I kind of have to question that when he went in the post-match presser and started.
Who did he throw under the bus?
Kim Min-jae. Started throwing Kim Min-jae under the bus, so that wasn't optimal. But I don't really think he's going to do anything that's going to endanger Bayern's chances, because, like I said, he wants to leave Bayern at a high note. He wants to leave at the note where, look at me, I'm going by winning the Champions League, and you can't even get a replacement for me. So that's the point he probably wants to prove. So yeah, it's going to be a good game.
Fair play. It's gonna really come down to I think Carlo also, like, I know for a fact that he has learned his lesson. When looking at Carlo, like, he also tends to kind of overthink the occasion sometimes, especially what we saw against Leipzig. The setup wasn't what we had accustomed to until that point.
I think at some point, I think you have a very valid point about Ancelotti overthinking these, like, against Barcelona, even with Modric as centre forward, against Atleti, he's dropped Tchouaméni sometimes against. I think against Atleti where he kind of tried playing Bellingham as a second striker or whatever, and that really cost us. But then on the other side, I think when it comes to teams like Leipzig, you also have to consider the fact that maybe our team isn't dealing with intensity well. Maybe there's some instructions that are being given by the management that the players aren't able to implement in certain phases of the game. Because if you watch every interview of the team, every interview of a player, they're always going to say the same thing. They always say that there's constant instructions from the management about how to change certain things when they're not working in the game, especially with Ancelotti and the current management. I believe it was Bellingham who did an interview recently, and he was talking about this. So for me, I don't think it's just I think the issue for Real Madrid in certain games, especially because you mentioned Leipzig, is the fact that we have trouble dealing with intensity, and it isn't just about this season. It's been there for a long time. So for me, before I think we were on Liam's channel when we were talking about Thomas Tuchel, and I said the same thing. It kind of depends on what kind of intensity Bayern bring it to the game, So for tomorrow as well, if they start Muller, I don't really see the same intensity being there, because like Muller said, when you get to this age, you have to play on a wheelchair. But if they're without him, I could see them being more intense, especially if Serge Gnabry is playing. I don't know, relatively. But then, like you guys said, I don't really watch Bayern like every week in, week out to make out which players have that intensity and which players don't. So let's see what happens. But Ancelotti, I know Ancelotti in this press conference made a big deal about emphasizing how we don't want to lose balls, give away those balls too cheaply, especially in our own half. So as long as these little things are improved, and then it also depends on what kind of form Jude Bellingham is in. He was talking about how he had to take him off because he was having cramps and everything. If I'm not wrong, before the first leg, he was suffering from stomach flu. So he was in optimal condition. We saw him play against Cadiz, and he got a goal. He looked decent. Vinicius came on and he unleashed his bag of tricks. So all our players have to be in best of form, and I hope Ancelotti decides that maybe it's not a good idea to leave the whole right flank exposed like he did the last time, because Jude Bellingham on the right flank didn't really that high up didn't really work out. So I hope they have plans. You have a valid concern when you say you don't really want Ancelotti to overthink it, but I have faith in him. I think he can do a job.
100%. He's gonna stick to his guns. That much I can guarantee you, because the time for experimentation and kind of being a bit ponderous about how to set up your side is completely out of the picture. But Mo, I think it's the perfect occasion to roll in the Manscaped ad. Pick up Manscaped, pick up Doris.
The summer's coming up, and I just wanted to remind you that we partnered up with Manscaped. So go to manscaped.com, use code LBR20 to get 20% off and free shipping worldwide. That's code LBR20 at manscaped.com. And just to remind you about the things that they do have on their website that you can use our code on, you can get the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra. It features a spotlight, a very bright spotlight. Is waterproof, super safe, skin safe technology. You can use it in the shower. There's no way of you cutting yourself. If you get the full package, the 5.0 Ultra package, you also get a nose and ear trimmer, ball deodorant, aftershave, baggies, a cool newspaper, boxers, a bunch of extra equipment. So if you want to maybe get the whole package, but you have a whole variety of products on their website that you can use the code on, LBR 20. They got mats for shaving, they got shears like scissors, clippers, boxers, clothes, creams, aftershaves, whatever you want, whatever you need, they got it. Also the beard hedger, a very high quality trimmer for your beard, a bunch of things. So go to manscaped.com, use code LBR20 at checkout to get 20% off and free shipping worldwide. That's code LBR20 for 20% off and free shipping. Back to the video. Thank you.
Big up Doris, big up Manscaped. LBR20 to get 20% off and free shipping on manscaped.com. Go show them some love. Show us some love. Big up Doris, always. Right. Let me kind of address some stuff that's been happening over the past couple of days. I read many outlets reporting that we kind of declined to receive the La Liga title at Granada, which is an absolute gesture of goodwill from the club, and teams like Barcelona better take note. It really made me super happy that we didn't stoop that low. We would rather do it the next week. But moving on to Bayern.
Have you seen the latest update though?
What is the latest update?
Okay, so this is a really funny situation because you have to give it to the Spanish football authorities to even mess up a simple thing as a trophy handover. So first of all, like to give the context, it was like they were like, we're gonna give it to you guys against the away game at Los Carmenes at Granada, but the thing is like they're gonna get relegated. So like Sunet said, Real Madrid said, no man, we don't want to receive it at their ground because it's disrespectful to them. And especially when you consider what happened last season. Well, last season Barcelona were away at Espanyol when they got their trophy. To guys who don't know, like Espanyol and Barcelona are like city rivals, so it's a derby. They don't really like each other. I mean, if there's a team that doesn't like Barcelona in La Liga and it's not called Real Madrid, it's called Espanyol. So Espanyol fans like totally rioted. They came onto the ground and they started attacking players and everything. So it was a huge mess of a situation. So when you consider that what happened, and for La Liga to go again and say, okay, this team might get relegated, but we're still going to give you the trophy at their home ground, is completely rubbish. For Real Madrid, I think first of all, Real Madrid asked La Liga to switch the games over the weekend, like last week. What they wanted to do was to play Barcelona Girona first and then play Real Madrid Cadiz. So you could have gotten the trophy over the weekend, but the Spanish football authorities, in their finite wisdom, decided not to do it. So then Real Madrid were like, okay, fine, let's just get it at our next home game, which is Alaves on Tuesday. So that was initially supposed to be the plan, but then they changed it and they said, okay, fine, we're gonna give you the trophy, and get this. They wanted to give us a trophy in our there's a place called Valdebebas, Real Madrid Sports City. For Real Madrid fans, everybody knows what it is. So the trophy handover is going to be behind the scenes at 9:30 a.m. on a Sunday morning, where we're not going to play a game. We just played a game against Granada on Saturday, so that's where the trophy was going to be handed over to us. But then I don't know what happened over the next few hours. So now what's the final decision, supposedly according to Marca, is that they're going to give us a trophy on Sunday morning at Valdebebas. I think it's going to be 9:30 a.m. Spanish time. And then we're going to have the whole celebration, go to the cathedral that Real Madrid always goes to, go to the city center, and then go to Cibeles and celebrate with the fans.
Cibeles on Sunday, yeah. We'll be there, people. And then, people tuning in. Yeah, we'll be there.
Yeah, okay. That's not the end of the story, though. So there's going to be a second trophy handover. It's going to be against Alaves at the Bernabeu. So yeah, like a simple thing, simple thing. Real Madrid won La Liga. You just have to give them a trophy. But Spanish football authorities, they know how to mess it up. So they're gonna be 2 trophy handovers now.
You know La Liga very well, more better than me. They just they just find a way to basically complicate the most the most mundane stuff. But I'll be happy to get it twice. I mean, why not, right? And we get to go to the Cibeles on Sunday. Yeah, people, Madridistas who will be tuning in later on audio as well, keep an eye out on our socials, especially Instagram. So because our team in Madrid is going to be covering the Cibeles parade in its full glory, hopefully, and you guys can tag along as well. But yeah, man, big up Sid and the boys in Madrid. Focusing our attention to the biggie, right? Because tomorrow, if things don't go according to plan, things don't go according to how we want it to go, the parade on Sunday is gonna be absolutely anticlimactic. It's gonna look like the worst parade the club has had in a long time. Let's be honest, because La Liga is a foregone conclusion. Nobody expected us to win it at the start, but here we are. It has been wrapped up, at least a month ago. Now we have to get the job done against Bayern. Liam, how do you see Bayern basically getting, one over us at the Bernabeu? And very few clubs have done, such a feat over the course of the entire history of our clubs, of both our clubs. But one of them, especially in 2001, when Bayern bet Madrid at the Bernabeu 2-1. How do you kind of see, Bayern standing a chance to overcome such a tall order? Let's be honest.
No, I think we had our chance in Munich. If I'm being 100%, I think we should have won that game. And now we're struggling. We're going to struggle in this game. At the end of the day, Real Madrid weren't the best Real Madrid in Munich. They really weren't. And with that being, with our fans, obviously, you guys would have had a good support, and you did have a good support. But now you're going to have most of the stadium supporting you. So let's say that Real Madrid don't turn up again. The 12th man is going to be there to rile your players up and and get your players over the line. I think Bayern Munich need to get an early goal. 2 early goals if we can do it. I know it sounds silly, because this is against Real Madrid. We're not playing Stoke. We're playing one of the best teams in the world. So that's the problem. We've got I don't know if Tuchel, does he shut up shop if he scores a couple goals? Like, what does he go at Real Madrid? I really don't know what the manager's going to do, if I'm being 100%, because at the end of the day, like I said, we're not playing Stoke, we're playing Real Madrid. And like I said earlier in the show, all you need to do now is one game. It's basically 0-0, because obviously in the 2-2 draw, it's basically 0-0. And all we need to do is just get over the line. But the problem is, can we get over the line against Real Madrid?
Mo, how do we basically, go about our mission? And I know Bayern is going to be, a tough test. Nobody is undermining what Bayern brings to the table. But do you reckon it'll be a bit more straightforward than me as a pessimistic guy, in general, when it comes to the Champions League, would expect?
It will be straightforward in the sense that of what Liam said. He said that this game essentially starts at 0-0, so you have to outlast your opponent, get the goal, and close it out. So this game could be 90 minutes. This game could be 120 minutes. This game could be 120 plus the penalties. So it could be anything. It's gonna be straightforward in the end. That you clearly know what your goal is. The goal is to win this match. I mean, it's not about 2 legs. It's not about away goals. It's not about anything else. It's just about winning this particular game. And so Real Madrid do have to do that. And before the first leg, I said this, and I said the same thing before the City game as well. These games, especially games of these magnitude, they get decided in the second half of the second leg. So the second half of the second leg is where I expect the real football to be played, where everybody's probably going to take the chance. if Bayern or Madrid get a goal early, I mean, it's obviously going to change the complexion of the game. But like even then, I don't really expect anybody to be losing their heads over it. So I totally expect that teams will keep calm, even if something doesn't really go their way in the first half. In the second half is when we could expect things to get a bit more frantic and a bit more hectic, if I can say that. So overall, for Ancelotti, especially against this Bayern, like I said, first half is probably gonna go with Nacho and Rudiger starting. Maybe, I'm not 100% sure. Maybe because having Tchouaméni in the center back position is gonna give you that ability to get the ball out faster. So if Ancelotti decides to do that, that means Real Madrid are obviously starting on the front foot. Camavinga, is probably going to play in the midfield. So that definitely opens up a little different kettle of fish. But I totally expect Ancelotti to do that in the second half. And, have Camavinga come off the bench and change the game like Camavinga does. So for me, like I said, it's going to be a very close game. But Real Madrid definitely have the quality, especially this season. But it is also going to depend on how our attack plays. Vinicius, I expect him to be on form because he's been there, he's done it. At this stage of the competition. Rodrigo has been here, he's done that. The only person who hasn't been here and done it yet is Jude Bellingham. So this is a chance to do it on this stage as well.
And people have been going absolutely berserk, on our socials, especially. I just posted a reel. I think was it yesterday? Basically, a few of the fans basically, speaking to us, they were kind of putting forth the question, who's going to be, the favorite for the Ballon d'Or. And last time I checked, it's 75% or 73% in favor of Vinicius. And they do have a point. And at the big games, Vinicius has completely, stepped up and, changed what looked like a slow start of the season. A very strong finish at the very end. But Liam, I'll come to you, right? For you, right, from the Bayern side, what is that one key battle or one key player that's gonna basically tip the tie in your favor?
Well, straight away from when you saying that, I'm thinking Harry Kane, just because of how many goals he's got. But I think it would be Jamal Musiala. I think, we've seen what Vasquez did against Musiala when they eventually switched sides. Is Carvajal going to be able to stop Musiala? He's more experienced. He's more experienced in that position. He's played against a lot of great players in that position. But is he going to be able to stop Jamal Musiala? The only thing I would say is Jamal on the left is a dangerous player. Jamal in the middle is a dangerous player. No matter where he plays, he's a dangerous player. And the dribbling ability, getting out of the way of free players and so on, passing the ball and just quick movement. He's very, very dangerous. But I think it's kind of a 50-50 on obviously him, but also Harry Kane. Like I said, he's been firing on all cylinders. Obviously Rudiger. Someone said on my, I can't remember off the top of my head who it was, but someone said, I don't know if it was in the fan comment, they said that Rudiger didn't make one of those runs that he normally makes. I don't know if that's because of Carlo telling him not to, or if he just knew the stage that he was on and the pressure and so on. I was very surprised to see Nacho playing. Obviously when we did the show on yours and mine, on the channels, we were obviously talking about Tchouaméni being at centre back. I think it's going to be very difficult to see Harry Kane not getting a goal, but at the same time, again, this is I don't mean to give you and this isn't supposed to be disrespectful, but you can't not give Real Madrid respect because of what they've done 14 times. You won it 3 in a row recently. You've just won the league. It's and I can't stand Real Madrid. I really can't, because of course you're a rival. Of course, at the end of the day, I don't want you guys to win. Obviously, both of you guys are lovely guys, but I want Real Madrid to lose, of course. Same as Barca, same as Dortmund. That's just the way that I am. I don't know. But yeah, one of those two is what I would go. Sorry for the long-winded answer.
No. It makes perfect sense. I would like to add a couple of, pointers to what you just mentioned. There's some of the delusional friends that I have claim that, the general consensus towards Madrid has shifted entirely, over the past few years. Like apart from Barcelona and Man City, nobody really wants us to lose. This is the proof, right? And I told them, you can't be so naive to think that, like other clubs really want us to win. Man, who likes anyone who is constantly winning at life? Nobody will. It's just the way the law of the nature. It's gonna be the same until the end of time. Nobody's gonna really entertain someone who's gonna be bagging trophies year after year. So we are up against the world. Let's be honest. Even in the final, if we get to the final, it'll be another us against the world narrative.
Especially if we're against Dortmund.
Yeah.
Especially
Yeah, like I've seen so many Bayern fans supporting Dortmund if they go through, and Dortmund fans, basically supporting Bayern. Like Barcelona and Madrid, like it's very rare. It happens sometimes, but yeah, it's not as often as the brotherly bonding between.
Sometimes it never happens. Sorry.
No, I've seen some very few people basically.
Those people are like those guys who don't actually support Madrid, but just like Madrid because it wins a lot, and they like saying themselves, "Oh man, we support a team."
Like I won't speak for them, neither should you. But I'm just saying of people that
because,
I knew growing up.
The thing is, like, if you're a Madrid fan, if you're Madridista, there's no way in like
100%. But just deeper situation.
No man, I can't think of the situation. I can't think of the situation.
Fair play. But I wouldn't speak for them, neither should you. That's my take on it. But yeah, it's very rare compared to what the affection and love that I've seen from Dortmund and Bayern towards each other. It's nice to see, but yeah, I hope we can spoil the party. All this favorite stock and the way Ahmed was talking in the first leg preview, and how basically everyone is mentioning the onus is on Madrid, gives me the slight creeps. It's like I've always said this, this is for me a bit unfamiliar territory. Like I haven't seen this in a long time, us being not slightly like big favorites, let's be honest, 60% favorites to actually go through at the Bernabeu, even though the game is 50-50.
Was it Uli Hoeneß or was it somebody else from Bayern who said that Bayern Munich are the favorites to go through in this?
I mean, he's a Bayern rep. Why would he say that?
I'm forgetting it.
I'm not too sure.
I'm not sure. Okay, I believe it was like before the first leg. I'm not sure. Was it like Heinz Rummenigge or like Uli Hoeneß? They're saying that Bayern are the favorites, and like ever since then, I've actually seen a couple of people say that Bayern are the favorites to go through. Real Madrid, like they aren't the same form and everything. So let's see. It's like, but you have a point when you say something that a lot of people do think of us as favorites, especially on social media, especially fans.
Yeah.
But I think when you go to like listening to like the actual critics and people, they know that the game is like more even.
A game of this magnitude is definitely going to be a lot more even than what the casuals think. That has been my general take on the semi-final from the very get-go. Even before even when talking about a potential semi when we were playing City, I used to always think Bayern ain't a cakewalk. Right. A few other comments before we slowly started up the sub. Slot was mentioning Musiala as him. Leroy Sané is a great player. He too can be him if he makes his finishing better. Too many times he hits sky balls. That's a good way to put it. If he gets rid of the sky balls and shoots it in the net more, he is a top quality player. Madrid TV was mentioning Tchouaméni will definitely play in midfield. See, my thing is it's a conundrum, to say the least, because Nacho, yes, he's good, right, but his basic instinct is to rush out sometimes. He just has that tendency to basically be a little too aggressive, leaving a gaps in between the centre back and the wing back. And Kane can very well do that to even the best, best in class. And if Nacho kind of gets dragged out, and then if Kane puts in a ball in behind, it's gonna be a long day. Especially with Bayern's directness, out on the flanks. It's like it's looking like I really don't know like how I can really go with either of them, because both of them bring their pros and cons. Nacho is a much more seasoned guy playing at centre back. Tchouaméni is basically a placeholder. Let's be honest. He can do a job. He's pretty decent, especially with his ball playing abilities. His long diagonals are a thing of beauty. Just takes me back to how good Ramos used to ping them. He just reminds me of him. He's pretty good, out basically helping us move off the pitch. But yeah, it's a tough decision for me to make a call on. But I guess that's why Carlo, guys like Francesco, pick up Francesco every single time, by the way. All these guys are paid big money to make these decisions, and I hope whatever they go with will pay dividends. Raja was mentioning Madrid will win it, no problem. YouTube says big up the panel. YouTube was mentioning Tuchel should call Manscaped because they are both tools. I should have read that. Big up to Girona for spanking Barca. Definitely. Never saw that coming. At least to the extent at how Barca were absolutely played out of the park. What, like 3 goals in 11 minutes? I mean, come on. Put some respect on Girona. Zero Talks was mentioning congrats to Madrid on the La Liga, by the way. Sloth, if you do fan meetup, can we get an autograph?
Maybe Farouk can send you some of his pictures.
Oh yeah. Farouk would have plenty of them in his in his bedroom. Right, YouTube was mentioning not to mention our morale is low due to the Stuttgart spanking last weekend. YouTube was asking, is this pre-recorded? It ain't pre-recorded, bro. It's live. It is live. Zia Talks was mentioning, that's mad. As a Bayern fan, I hate Manchester United and Barca more than Dortmund. Speaking volumes. Yeah. I mean, it's good to see. It's hard for us to understand, to be honest. Zia was also mentioning, I always told Liam, if Musiala is a consistent big game goal scorer or assister, he will be more respected. I think there's still time on his side. So much time on his side, let's be honest. Pick up Farouk, he's in the chat, he was mentioning, I'm worried about Tuchel. He most likely will out-maneuver Carlo. Of course, he'll say that. But it's down to our star men to get business done. Back the boys, Farouk, back the boys. Don't back the baldy just for a day. He won't. Just kind of. We have to get that in, because the amount of prop this guy gives to Tuchel, it's just scary. I've got the autograph sorted. More worry not. Yeah. You can.
And I'm not worried at all. Instead, I am fully confident that you have some. You are probably already doing photo shoots for, let's say, fan meetups. Creating the perfect picture. I mean, not that you need to work hard at it, because we all know how good Farouk's photos come out. Because that where was it? Do you remember, Sunet? Was it in Greece or was it in Turkey? I think I don't really know.
Should be in Turkey.
I don't really remember how to pronounce that name. It's like Efes, where he went and took the pictures and they came out.
Should be Turkey.
Yeah, should be Turkey.
Should be Turkey.
Okay. So yeah, and we're obviously working on the Photoshop for Farouk and Florentino Perez together, merged into one guy. So
he can travel to Madrid, man. He went to Madrid, for the first leg, so he'll be there soon enough. Yeah. But especially with Mbappe.
But what would have been even better? It would have been even better to have Farouk with us right now, because he's such a nice guy. He was
supposed to make it. We had a brilliant conversation for the first review right before you came on with Liam.
Yeah.
Farouk is so much more neutral than you and me. So
Farouk is a true student of the game. He knows he has a very tactical mind.
He can put his bias aside for a second when you and me, we really can't.
Especially when the opponent is Thomas Tuchel.
100%. Maybe that's why. Yeah, he just respects all these old guys for no reason. Ian was mentioning Bayern will be easy, guys. We run them for the first 15 minutes and their full backs will have fear. Then Vinny will definitely make some magic. This is going to be an easy win for us. Carvajal back to pick up Ian. You do have a point. I just hope it is as straightforward as what you just what you just mentioned. I just hope that the plan is definitely, I've seen it. The blueprint. There's a reason for this blueprint to be so successful. Liam, do you make sense of this? Whenever I watch Madrid being a little reactive rather than being proactive and kind of play a mid to low block sometimes, especially when protecting leads or on the big nights. It's basically to tire the opposition out, and then hit them on the counter. Do you anticipate this going into get to a tie as big as this with Madrid being at home? Do you see it already coming before the game?
Yeah. I can see where you're coming from. Yeah, if you run us ragged, then do what you need to do. That's yeah.
I mean, wouldn't Tuchel have gone through hours of video footage of us doing that, especially
Probably.
to his Chelsea side as well?
Yeah, no, most likely, but I know that you guys were saying that this is the Champions League, but at the end of the day, I don't know if he have all of these players. They're going to want to perform for their own, careers and whatever. Say, yeah, I play Real Madrid, I perform well, but at the end of the day, does he have them in his back pocket? Are they on his side? Do they want him out? Because the club is in turmoil right now. Realistically, maybe not as much as some other clubs like Manchester United, for instance. But yeah, no, 100%. He's probably watched a lot of footage, but you can watch footage all you want. You guys go and get 2 goals early, and we're done. So, but yeah, no, 100%. He probably has, yeah.
Right, big up talent Markov. He was mentioning, hello Liam, can you tell us about the new winger you are signing from Brazil?
New winger that we're signing from Brazil. I haven't seen anything on a new winger that we're signing from Brazil off the top of my head. And I know we got an Australian lad.
Hey, when was the last time you actually signed somebody from South America? Because I remember there was this Brazilian centre back, or there's this Brazilian player at Bayern who kind of burnt his house down or something. And
what?
Yeah.
Was it Dante? Can't be Dante.
No, not Dante. There was this kid they had a lot of hopes for, and they signed him, and then things didn't work out. And basically, ever since then, Bayern hasn't really signed anybody from South America, if I'm not wrong. Like young players, not like experienced players.
Oh, okay. So house party gone wrong has completely switched their scouting plans. Yeah.
I don't remember. But yeah, probably look it up.
I mean, Germans are uptight. I mean, it's expected. Right? You can't really burn your house down and get away with it.
That guy did a lot of stuff, so it was kind of understandable.
Okay.
But to say, there's Bayern are like, no man, we have to be very careful about buying players from here now. So that was like, you have to imagine what kind of stuff that might have happened.
Yeah, 100%. Farouk was mentioning all this love. I'm blown away. Farouk is 100% humbled. Zeotox is mentioning Farouk can take Tuchel. I don't mind, but he has a death wish. Right. Talent Marco was mentioning. Right. Predictions for PSG against Dortmund. Yeah, big tie in 2.5 hours. I'm excited. I'm super excited. Dortmund has to do the job to save football. That's what everybody would say. I would echo the same. But
Mbappe
at home,
needs to turn up. That's what I would say. He didn't turn up in that first game.
He will turn up. It's a foregone conclusion. It's a matter of when. But do you reckon Dortmund stand a chance, Liam? Especially after the amount of chances they wasted in the first leg.
I think so. I think they've got PSG's number, to be honest with you. I
really
do.
Yeah?
I just think, Okay.
I
just think it depends if it's going to be the Mbappe show or not, because PSG have lost to Dortmund before and then battered them at home. So that's what I would go off of personally.
Mm-hmm. Mo, anything to chip in?
No, I said it before the first game. Mbappe is gonna at some point in time you expect Mbappe to turn up. Although Luis Enrique is doing his best not to give him the best of the chances. But I think overall this scenario is too big for Mbappe not to turn up. So I think something's gonna happen. PSG didn't work out away, but doesn't mean it's not gonna work out at home. I totally expect them to win.
They played a decent game.
By the way, I think there was like total Bayern 1900. He said the house fire guy was Breno, and Bayern have probably never signed directly from Brazil since then. So that was the guy I was talking about.
Breno. Never heard.
Yeah, there's a reason why I never heard of him, because he never actually made it to the first team. I don't know if he made it to the first team, but he didn't play much. Like there were a lot of issues with him.
Right. But yeah, PSG Dortmund is gonna be box office. Very underrated matchup, 100%. Stylistically, culturally, you name it. Ian was mentioning Tuchel bet us with our best team. Hey, don't forget. So the reference for me doesn't really count. Tell me if Carvajal shot Sané, who else can create individual brilliance in that team? Musiala.
You need a lot of players to create individual brilliance.
We saw people who used to call Limer average do decently against us. So man,
for me the biggest weakness of Bayern in this game is their midfield, especially the two, Limer and Goretzka, or whoever comes in, over there. That's gonna be sure. I think you're not gonna have Rafa Guerrero again. Like he's injured, right?
Yeah, he's a big miss.
He's injured, yeah.
Yeah, so you're not gonna have him. So it totally depends on how. And I've never actually seen Pavlovic play, so if he's like,
he's decent.
Yeah, so maybe he can do something. But yeah, midfield is one area I expect Real Madrid to dominate. I expected us to dominate in the first leg, but Ancelotti decided to play Jude Bellingham higher up the pitch. I hope he doesn't do that this again, and kind of plays him in midfield, Rodrigo on the right, Vinicius on the left. I think we're going to be good.
Yeah.
Right. Ziatox was mentioned we got him from Shakhtar, though, so I don't know. Oh, he was talking about the Australian.
Douglas Costa.
Australian. Okay.
No, he's talking about Douglas Costa, not Australia. Australia is coming from Australia. Australia.
Right. Yeah. Why didn't I think about that? 100%. Right. Taran Markov was mentioning, I predicted at the start of the season Leverkusen is to win the league and the Clasico final, which Bayern wins, but I predicted a three-way title race between Leipzig, Bayern, and Leverkusen. It's a 4-1 conclusion. Right. Mbappe can't be stopped, says Ian. For 2 legs, unfortunately, Dortmund out. Man, Dortmund might surprise people. You never know. But PSG at home is a tall order. Not going to lie. Farouk says Dortmund would rue those chances from the first leg. I'm telling you, man. If he really wanted to, I mean, he did play excellently. Like he was on his game. Fulkrug could have had a poker. It's not a joke. Slot says, sorry, Liam, I think you hate Dortmund, but they must save football from oil. Oil is why Man City and PSG are where they are as clubs. We need pure football back again. Sorry, Liam, but
I'll just say this,
PSG,
that Qatar is backed by natural gas, not oil. So PSG is natural gas, not oil.
Right. Man, the technicalities. Is it really necessary? But
yeah.
I appreciate it. Appreciate it. Right. YouTube was mentioning Liam was one who said Lima was rubbish. Yeah, I mean, Liam kind of.
But then
Liam
kind of gave him credit after the post game, right?
Yeah. In the post match, he did 100%. Total Bind was mentioning we will play Lima Pavlovic tomorrow. It basically got leaked. Goretzka out of the equation, Liam. Like, do you look forward to it?
I think Goretzka, interesting. That'd be an interesting thing. I don't know if you want to. It's hard. I would go with Goretzka and Lima. I love Pavlovic and I think he's brilliant, but I don't know if I want to chuck him at the Wolves personally. You guys have got some of the best midfielders in the world, even the young ones, Camavinga and Tchouameni there, and Jude, obviously. Amazing. And then you've obviously got the experience in Valverde and Cruz and Madrid. So I wouldn't want to chuck him at the Wolves personally, but if Tuchel thinks he's up for it, I don't necessarily know him personally. I don't know what his mentality is like.
Like I've told you so many times, I just like watching Pavlovic in motion. He just is a superbly easy on the eye midfielder. Very, very neat with his passing, positioning. He just looks like he belongs at this stage. But do you think the experience kind of comes into play?
Exactly. Yeah, that's where I'm going with. Luka Modric, if he was to play, Cruz. These players have been here before. And this guy, this would be a first time for him to play in such a big game. So of course you can see like these players play big games and then they go and they perform, and I'm not doubting they can't perform against Real Madrid, not at all, but just in the sense that your midfield tops ours 10 times over. It really does. So that's generally where I'd go with it. And obviously when we did the combined 11 on my channel, the only midfielder that got in was Musiala.
I mean, I'll be honest, if it was just me, like I would have been a little more lenient, but Mo is, he just doesn't negotiate, does he?
About what? About the lineup?
Yeah. Like I was basically calling on for some peace talks, but Mo.
I mean, we did do
really
peace talks.
Any of it.
We gave them Musiala, right?
Did we really?
Yeah,
okay.
we gave them Musiala, we gave them Kane, we gave them Matthias de Ligt, we gave them Neuer. So.
Oh yeah, Neuer against Lunin.
I mean, the only one you could realistically be complaining about is like between Carvajal and Kimi. Like apart from that, I think it was a fair team.
I mean, the way Neuer got chipped, man, like I wouldn't watch that back. I mean, the whole defense was sleeping, but against Stuttgart, I didn't expect him to be chipped like that, from close range. But yeah, right. Ian is too confident. Says Talon Mokov will love to see him humbled. We don't speak for Ian. I don't speak for Ian, right? Like I'm not too cocky. Like I was never cocky. Going into a big semi-final. Markov. He also says Barca stopped Mbappe. Do you rate Mbappe too much? What Real has he won with PSG?
Man, I think,
why do you overrate Mbappe?
I think Mbappe deserves to be. I mean, I wouldn't say we are overrating Mbappe. Mbappe is probably the best player in the world right now. So how can you overrate the best player in the world? And expecting him to perform at the biggest stages is like, you kind of have to hope that he gives those performances. He's not performing at PSG. Definitely, he's not won the Champions League with PSG. That's the big black mark on his record over there. But the thing is, like, PSG haven't lost because of him. They have lost despite having him. Like, if you think back to like 21-22, Mbappe against us was probably PSG's best player, but PSG still lost because of how crap rest of the mentality of the rest of the players is. And it's the same thing with, it keeps happening year on year. PSG haven't really surrounded him with the best of players, and even this PSG doesn't really have the best of players, but they still have somehow managed to get into the semi-finals, luck of the draw, whatever you want to call it. And when it comes to games like this, I mean, Mbappe has performed in the World Cup, right? In the final, he completely dragged France he gave France a shouting chance against Argentina in the final. So I mean, you can never underrate Mbappe. He's the best player in the world.
100%. Right. I hope Mbappe does well and PSG gets knocked out. That's what I really want to happen. But tomorrow, final predictions, guys. Mo, go for it. At the Bernabeu, under the lights.
A tough win, man, but I hope we win 2-1 maybe.
2-1, yeah. Close one, right? Liam.
I would go with a 2-1 as well. To Bayern, though, obviously.
2-1, right? Fair enough. I would say a 3-1. I think Bayern probably would score first, and then we would really up the ante and put the tie to bed. I hope we get to watch a good spectacle. It has been always regarded as the European Clasico. I just hope we can slay the Black Beast one more time, the Bernabeu. Big up people in the chat. Big up our audio listeners as well. Big up our partners, Real Madrid Committee on Instagram. Go check them out. They're on a brilliant Instagram Madrid fan page. Go check out Manscaped as well. The link is in the pinned live chat. And it's also in the description below. LBR 20 to get 20% off and free shipping on manscaped.com. Hopefully we will regroup after this titanic tussle one more time at the Bernabeu. But until next time, people. Hala Madrid.
Hala Madrid.